Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Gear Chronicle deck profile for Post, the next stage. This is the Chronojet fully powered next stage deck that utilizes the new support from the next stage booster set along with the latest trial deck for Chronojet Dragon. The deck also used by Chrono Shindo in the Shinemon arc of the Cardfight Vanguard anime. A really awesome deck. I was definitely excited to put this deck together after the Lost Legend makeup for the new concept for Gear Chronicle, where you take grade 4s that are in your main deck and not in your G-Zone like the original series for Chrono Shindo. You ride these grade 4s onto your grade 3 Vanguard, and then at the end of the turn retire them and ride a grade 3 from your soul. Really awesome style of deck where you just utilize a very powerful grade 4, which is Chrono Dragon next stage, and all the other backup grade 4s with the new Chronojet support. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. Now, ideally, I do want to run for Chrono Dragon next stage, but for those of you that saw my opening, I was only lucky enough to pull 2 of this card, so I do have 2 in here for now, but for added backups, I will just be adding the 1 Isolate Lion and the additional Metallica Phoenix until I can get the full playset of this card, which I have plenty of Asha that I'm still looking to trade for this grade 4. But with it on your Vanguard circle at the end of the battle that is hacked a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, if your soul has Chronojet Dragon, discard 2 cards from your hand, retire this unit, ride a Chronojet Dragon from your soul as stand, and until the end of turn, that unit gets plus 15,000 power, and you cannot ride. So this is just your go-to powerhouse card, being able to basically let you have a whole new Vanguard to attack your opponent with, and then getting that additional plus 15,000 power along with Chronojet Dragon's own power makes it a very strong and pressured unit to attack. And all you have to do is discard the 2 cards, which you'll get from your twin drive, so you don't have to worry about any other investment for your hand for this play, and then have your additional rear guards to attack as well along with Chronojet Dragon. So, like I said, I will be getting hopefully the other 2 very soon. Just need the last 2, but you can use Isolate Lion and Metallica Phoenix just as added backups until you get your next stages as well. Luckily, it's not like the original Stride unit where you had to flip up a copy of Chrono Dragon next stage. You just need these for additional numbers so it doesn't go into your damage zone, or if you open it up from your hand as well, you have multiples in your deck to use for that recycle power. And then for the added backup grade 4, just because you want a good amount of them to go into, I'm also running 3 Metallica Phoenix, just for the fact that this card has triple drive, is immense pressure, giving you cards in your hand, the better chance at hitting triggers. You cannot normal ride this card, but just being able to have this as that go-to card for your first ride with Chronojet, or just, if you need that pressure more than the restand pressure against your opponent's Vanguard, you have both of the options available to you for whatever play you want to go for with the deck. And then for the grade 3 unit, the only grade 3 I'm running in the deck is Chronojet Dragon, your main go-to card. On your Vanguard circle, discard 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 4, ride it as stand. Shuffle your deck, and at the end of the turn, retire that unit, ride a grade 3 from your soul as rest. So with that ride, you'll get the additional imaginary GIF force, so you don't have to ride multiple Chronojets from your hand. You'll get that force every time you ride a different grade 4 from this card's ability, and you'll also get that setup and also just have the different grade 4s you run in the deck to ride on top of Chronojet Dragon, and also use as the cost for its ability. And when it attacks, counterblast 1 until end of that battle. This unit gets plus 5,000, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from his or her hand. So even including the newest critical trigger Sentinel, your opponent can't use that card against this one, or even the draw trigger Sentinel, or the grade 1 one, you name it. Plenty of options which just can't be used against Chronojet Dragon. And also having the option for your cards to go into your next stage, and then also after using next stage, give Chronojet Dragon plus 15,000 power along with the plus 5, means you'll be attacking for 33,000 power alone, and having your opponent not be able to use Sentinels means a better chance for this unit to hit against your opponent's Vanguard also. And that is it for the grade 3s. Like I said, I only wanted to run Chronojet Dragon for your best option because you just have that search power with some of your other grade 1s, and it's the ideal one because it's going for the play that you'll want to utilize with your Chrono Dragon next stage also. For the grade 2s, I am running 4 of my avatar, which is Smoke Gear Dragon. Being able to pull 2 SPs from the 2 separate openings I did obviously proves that this card is indeed fact my avatar. When it's attack Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5,000 until end of battle. If you rode a grade 4 this turn, Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. So you just have draw power with this card alone, being a good ride target since it is a 10k body as well. You have plenty of options with this card for your pressure against your opponent. And if your Vanguard is Chronojet Dragon, when you would discard a card from your hand, you may discard this card as a grade 3. So you have plenty of options for the discard cost with this one also. But on the field, it's also good just for the draw power, having the plus 5 against your opponent. If your opponent does get a trigger and you just need a little more additional power to go up against them, you have that option available to you. But I like it mostly for the fact that you have this card and another one for options being the discard cost for your grade 4 ride using Chronojet Dragon. For the added backup grade 2, I'm also running 4 Stroboscope Dragon. At the end of the battle, attacked, Soul Blast 1, and discard a card from your hand. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. If your Vanguard is grade 4, draw a card. So most of the time, with all the different grade 4s we're running, and it being the main focus of the deck, you will have the grade 4 for the draw power, but just having an option for your opponent's rear guards to take care of them as well, to get rid of, pesky boosters or just intercepts. You can use Stroboscope Dragon at full power for the Soul Blast when you're not using it for the draw power for Smoke Gear Dragon also. And then just being able to rely on the fact that it is a Vanguard or rear guard ability, and it's just at the end of the battle that attacked for an easy Soul Blast. It may be the only reason you may want to ride multiple Chronojets, so you have the soul to use with this card, but then you also just have the other discard power, so you don't have to discard Chronojets or any of your grade 4 using your Smoke Gear Dragon while keeping the soul blasting power for Stroboscope and Smoke Gear alive and working also. And then to finish off the grade 2s, I also just run 2 Steam Breaker Jetto, or Doodoo, I believe is how you pronounce this card's name. On rear guard during your turn, if you discarded cards from your hand this turn, all units in the same column as this one get plus 5,000 power. Just another good pressure unit, since you'll definitely be discarding cards for Chronojet Dragon's ability each and every turn. So with this one, you'll have the power boost on your rear guards for this one to fully utilize its power. And also just having a 10k grade 2 for each one of your spots, I would say, is the best option to go for good ride targets and pressure against your opponent, depending on the unit you wanted to go up against. The only non-Vanguard ability grade 2 you're running, but most of the time I like to ride Stroboscope or Smoke Gear for both of their abilities respectively also. And that is it for the grade 2s. We'll now move on to the grade 1s. I run 4 Steam Breath Dragon. During your turn on Vanguard or Rear, if you discard a card from your hand, this unit gets plus 5,000 power, being a great pressure booster for Chronojet Dragon, hitting for 46,000 power alone after next stage's ability that can't be sentineled. It'd make your opponent waste all the cards in their hand for guarding that attack, especially if they're at low damage and they can't afford to take the 6 or even risk the critical trigger off of Chronojet Dragon. And on Vanguard or Rear, when placed from hand, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 from among them, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck, and if you do put a card in your hand, discard a card from your hand. So the search power for this card makes it all the better, because we only run the 4 Chronojet Dragons. We want to get access to that card as quickly as possible, since it is our only grade 3 and the ideal ride target. Running Steam Breath Dragon is basically like that backup grade 3, just in the form of the Searcher. Since you can also be used on Vanguard or Rear, you have that easy ride target to make use of also. And I also run 4 Bearing Rover. When placed on Vanguard, when its attack hits, discard a card from your hand and draw a card. So more search power, and from the hand, when this card will be discarded, it may be discarded as a grade 3. Being the cost for your discard along with Smoke Gear Dragon makes it all the better. So with Chronojet Dragon, you should always, every turn, at least have the cost to go into one of the grade 4s you run in the deck, and not have any worry about discarding multiple cards for it also. And Bearing Rover also being a Vanguard Circle ability, you can ride this card on Vanguard for the draw discard power, call Steam Breath to the back row, searching more for the grade 3s, and then also being able to get the search draw power off of Bearing Rover with that boosted attack hits also. So you'll definitely have the guarantee to hopefully hit one of your Chronojet Dragons with all this search and draw power you are doing. And then to finish off the grade 1s, I'm running 4 Mazer Gear Dragon. When discard from your hand during your turn, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards and retire it. So even just if you discard Mazer Gear for the cost of going into your grade 4 with Chronojet Dragon, you'll be able to retire one of your opponent's front row rear guards with this one, also taking out more and more intercepts, along with the ability of Stroboscope Dragon, as long as you have the soul to use for all of these cards also. So definitely another 4 of. It's definitely a good ride target, having all 8k power boosts for all the grade 1 options, and then just being able to have that additional option for retiring more rear guards while having draw power with the form of Smoke Gear Dragon. And that is it for the grade 1s. We'll now move on to the grade 0s. I run the Chronodron. This is your ideal, I would say, just based on the artwork alone. For Chronojet Dragon, when rode upon, draw a card. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 1 or greater, put a quick shield ticket into your hand. The normal order card, just giving you additional shield power against your opponent, since your opponent going first may have more pressure against your attacks as well. So relying on the quick order is a big boost for sure. And then for the trigger lineup, I was trying out the 6 critical, 6 draw, just so you have the discard power for your next stage. But for now, I'm running the 8 critical, so 4 Reclaim Key Draco Kid and 4 Steam Bomber de Gaulle. But if you wanted to run 6 critical, you could always, 6 draw, you could always take out 2 of the de Gaulle or the Key Draco Kid for the additional draw. For the Sentinel and along with the draw trigger, I'm running 4 Steam Guard Castilla. I didn't want to run Heart Thump. I thought about it, but I still just like the guaranteed Sentinel Guard with this deck. Also running the draw trigger, since we do need a little more boost for some of our rear guard plays, since we will be investing a lot of our hand cards into going into our grade 4 units. And to finish off the heals, the 4 Uluru heal, definitely the most fitting heal, since it was the one used by Chrono in the anime as well. So for this one being the same shield as the other heal trigger we had for standard format, but still very useful altogether. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Definitely an awesome deck. I can't wait to start working on Asha and Altmile as well as their main competitive forms and their budget decks as well. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Qualia out.